Mexico, the country of tacos, mariachis, and those thick-ass Latinas. I have been living in Mexico for the last 10 years, and there's a couple of stuff that I love and hate. Like, for example, I love the street tacos, I love the swami, and I love those frozen-ass gancitos. And there's some things that I hate about living here. The heat, or that one fat ass who keeps taking all the damn gancitos in the damn store. But there's two things that I hate about living in Mexico. Now, why two? Because I feel like if I make a top 5 video or top 10, I'm gonna be here for a couple of hours. And these things are also stuff that you don't see in like those videos like, oh, I grew up in a Mexican household. Some of you might be asking, what are those two things that I hate about living in Mexico? Well, I'll tell you. That is the noise and the dogs. Some of you might be confused with that, but later on to the video, I'll explain even deeper. And also, before we cut to the intro, I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna call America the other side because I don't want to say, oh, America, America, and I say Erica by accident. So yeah, America means the other side. But enough chit-chatting, let's begin. The noise. Now, some of you might be confused. Some of you might be saying, the noise? What the hell does the noise have to do with anything? Well, the noise here is everywhere. Now, that sounds confusing to a lot of people, but let me explain myself. When I was living in the other side, and also this is coming from personal experience, when I was living in the other side, after 7, you had to be quiet as a mouse. No screaming, no laughing, no loud music, or nothing loud because you will have neighbors calling the cops on your ass coming to tell you to shut the hell up. Hell, you can fart so loud in the middle of the night and someone's gonna call the cops on you. Hello, 911? I'd like to report a noise complaint. Someone is farting way too damn much. And that's understandable. Not calling the cops on people farting, but I mean, you have to be respectful with the noise. Why? Well, it's because it's obvious. People go to work early in the morning. Not just people, but children who have to go to school. And also, it's just very loud. And the noise also goes for the Mexicans in the other side. After 7, they have to turn their music down or end the party before 6 or 7 because you don't want the neighbors calling the freaking ice on your ass. And you've probably seen those videos of like, oh, living in a Mexican household and your family was invited to a party or something and they're drinking and yelling and singing all damn night and it's like 3 in the morning, you're trying to get your parents to take you home. Yeah, I never been to those type of parties. Surprisingly. And I think they rented like these certain buildings that's like in the middle of nowhere not to disturb anyone, and I think that's when they're able to let loose. Well, here, you don't need to do that here in Mexico. The neighbors here don't give a shit about the noise. Now, like I said, this is coming from personal experience. I don't know how other people have dealt with this in living in Mexico. If you probably have the same neighbors, I don't know, leave a comment saying that, oh, these neighbors are annoying and I wish them dead or something like that. But besides that, there's two type of neighbors here in Mexico. The ones who are respectful and they actually lower their volume after a certain amount of time, or they turn off their music completely and end it for the night. Or the other neighbors who don't give a damn and they play their music as loud as they want and to which time they want. And also, if you're lucky, you can hear them singing and laughing and all that crap throughout the night. Now, I'm gonna tell you 3 stories that they're related to the noise. And like I said in the beginning, this is from my own personal experience and I don't know about other people, but let's begin. Back in 2016, when I first moved here, I was soft. Soft, you mean? I mean soft, like I got used to the peace, to the quiet and the other side because everyone had to be quiet as a mouse after 7 p.m. But with the first couple of months of 2017, that's when I started experiencing that people don't give a damn and they play their music as loud as they want. When I first moved here, we used to live in a place called Colinas, or how I like to call it, the mountains. I wasn't able to find the neighborhood I used to live in, but these were the exact same houses, so I made the neighborhood by memory. This is how my neighborhood used to look like. House here, mountain there, and a little dirt road there. But besides that, so there was a family of 6 that lived in front of us, and now every now and then their dad will get drunk or do a barbecue and get drunk, but it wasn't like all the time. It was like every now and then. Well, in this particular day, the dude got drunk and did a barbecue. But here's the thing though, unlike the other times that he gets drunk, he usually cuts his music before 7 or 8. Well, this particular day, he was playing his music all through the damn night. Oh no, but it gets better from here. Someone called the cops on him. And what did the cops do? Did they tell him, hey, senor, turn down your music. People have to go to work in the morning. They didn't tell him nothing. because the cops came. I don't know what the hell he said to the guy, and he just left. They left, and he continued with his music all through the damn night. And that's just the first story. The second one, it gets stupider. But after moving to a different area in 2020 before the pandemic, and look, let me just recreate the neighborhood I lived in. This is the neighborhood. Yes, in front of the apartment, there was an empty place with a bunch of trash, and including an abandoned car. And yes, next to us was an abandoned house. So in one night, the neighbors 3 houses down before the dirt road began, they were playing music throughout the night. Now, this is the part of the story where the cops are retarded. Look, no offense if you're a cop, but this is just plain out retarded. So my dad grabs his phone. He calls the cops for the noise complaint. They come, they tell them to be quiet, and they apply. They turn on their music, or they turn it off, I don't remember, and they leave. Couple of minutes later, they put their music back up again. So my dad gets pissed, and he goes and gets my mom's phone. Well, he calls the cops 2 times with my mom's phone. The first time he called, they didn't show up. He called again, then they showed up. You can really tell that here in Mexico, noise complaint is really taken seriously. And this part of the story is just funny to me. The cops come, they tell him what they did the first time, and they leave, and they had their music off. The moment that the cops left and they make sure that they were gone, they put their music louder as possible, and they were singing and they all of that crap. Yeah, when my dad came home in the afternoon, he seemed kind of grumpy. Now, the third story that I'm going to tell you actually happened a couple of weeks ago, and I'm not going to share this neighborhood because this is the same neighborhood that I'm living in. Well, a couple of weeks ago, like 3 houses down the street, there was these neighbors who were playing their music throughout the day, and throughout the day, I mean, they started playing their music from, I think it was like 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. I don't remember that well. But somewhere between 9 p.m., they hired someone to come and play music for them live. Well, let me tell you, little Billy, it was the mariachis. I'm not joking. These people hired mariachis to play music for them throughout the night from 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2 to like somewhere between like 3 in the morning. They left, and after 3 they went back to the boombox. I mean, not the boombox, the speaker. And not gonna lie, I think these people were on the green lettuce. Why? Because it smelled a lot like the green lettuce in the hallway. We had the door open somewhere between like 10 p.m. and after I went down to go close it, yeah, it smelled a lot like the green lettuce. And what made it worse is that night it was windy. But this part of the story is kind of funny to me. I woke up late this day, and when I was outside watering the plants, I heard a faded song, very faded. And when I got my ear close to the gate, these people were still playing their music at 9 in the morning. So let alone they were playing their music throughout the entire night, but also into like 10 something p.m. And yes, I checked after 11, they were done at 11, and they're like, yeah, we're done here. Now, some of you might be asking, why not confront them and tell them to please put their music down? Do you actually think it's a good idea to confront a drunk Mexican where they're drinking, singing, and having the time of their lives, and you're just going like, hey, can you please put your music down? I'm trying to go to sleep. 2 things can happen. 1, they actually be respectful and they put their music down. Or 2, you're gonna get your ass kicked. Now, some of you might be asking, what do I do if some drunk bastard plays music through the entire night? Well, option 1 is live in the city or live in a private neighborhood. Well, there's apartment buildings, and by the looks of it, I doubt that any person can play their music as loud as they want there because, come on, you have to be respectful in the city. Or 2, move to a private neighborhood. And by the looks of it, these private neighborhoods probably have a couple of gringos living in it. And, well, you know how gringos are with the noise. But the first option is if you have money. Option 2, just buy earplugs. Or option 3, and it's my personal favorite, ignore it and get used to it. Like I said, this is personal experience. So, yeah, I don't know how other people dealt with the noise or the loud music. But besides that, on to the next part. Dogs are everywhere, and I'm not saying that to be dramatic. I'm saying that in a way that they're freaking everywhere. Let alone that some people have dogs in their front yard 24/7, from little dogs, huskies, golden retrievers, even like those little fluffy ones. But a good chunk of the dogs here are street dogs. Where I live, every now and then there's a pack of dogs that passes by. From 4 dogs to 3 dogs, hell, even 5 in rare occasions. And it's different dogs, from golden retrievers, like I said, those little white ones, but they're nasty. They're like nasty, covered with dirt, oil, and freaking mud, or whatever the hell they're laying down. Oh no, but just to add insult to injury, most of the times, some of these dogs are pit bulls. A couple of days ago, I was gonna go to the store, right? And in the middle of the street, there was a pit bull. So what I did, we went around the area to go to the store. Yeah, I'd rather take my chances going to the other neighborhood that probably has dogs than going against this damn pitbull. And now some of you might be asking, why not call animal control? That's the same thing that I ask myself. Why the hell do people not call animal control? There are so many damn street dogs out there. But, wait. If you call animal control and they take a good chunk of the dogs, at the end of the day, you're gonna see more street dogs. The only place that I haven't seen street dogs is in the city. And the only times that we ever go to the city is to buy Panda Express. Recently, I've been having my window open because it's hot. And every now and then, dogs start barking like crazy. I'm not joking. I have a recording right here. Well, let's just play it. Bruh. Some people might say, oh, well, they're dogs, they don't know better. And yeah, I can understand, it's not the dog's fault. But I feel like if people can control their damn animals from going to the streets, I feel there wouldn't be that much barking. Oh, and that's another thing. People love to drive loud motorcycles here. In general, there's a lot of street dogs here. Sure, you'll see like 1 or 2 dogs every now and then, but most of the time you'll see like a pack of 4 or 5 running around the neighborhood. Sometimes it will be normal dogs, sometimes it will be that dog with the little tail, or every now and then you'll see a pit bull running around. This part is short because there's not that much to go on, so yeah, on to the end. Conclusion, if you don't like loud noise, this ain't the country for you. I know some people might say, well, there's loud noise everywhere, but there's more noise here. I mean, you have a couple of options. Live in the city, and I doubt people play music that loudly in the city or have dogs in those apartments in the city, or live in a private neighborhood. But even if you do live in a private neighborhood, some of these private neighborhoods are close to like normal neighborhoods, so you'll still hear the outside noise, even if it's not in your neighborhood. But besides that, living in Mexico is not a bad place to live in. I mean, if you can ignore the noise and the corruption and the disappearance, you'll have a decent life here. I was gonna mention another group, but I didn't want to end up in a suitcase. So yeah, I'm just gonna end it here. Hope you hated this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.
Like this retarded ass video, please put subscribe. And if you like to see more, yeah, I have nothing else. I just made this. Goodbye.